Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
It is good to have you with us as we start this Tuesday morning. I'm Erin Hartley.
I'm Cerise Cole, along with meteorologist Jared Lansford, Senior Chief Rusty Lord, and once again, we are talking the cold. Another day, more cold temperatures to wake up to.
By the numbers, it's a little bit better, but
Yeah.
you're not going to notice it.
No.
Still cold.
Wear the big coat. Same stuff you wore yesterday, take it with you today. Let's talk about it and where we're heading with some of these numbers today. 11 degrees at the moment, a light enough breeze that the air temperature and the feels like number, at least last time they were measured, the same thing. You could get a few gusts 5 to 10 miles per hour this morning, but overall not that bad. You can see a little sunlight on the horizon there. Otherwise, clouds are winning out today over a good portion of the area. Look at the feels like numbers out the door. I mentioned it's 11 in Omaha, 15 below in Falls City today, or as of right now. They have so much more snow on the ground. Their air temperature is colder. The wind has more of an impact there, even though it's pretty light. But most of us are in the single digits or better with our wind chill. And that's where we're going to be the vast majority of the day. Again, models think we'll be right around 0 here at 8 o'clock. It all depends on if we get maybe a 5, 6, 7 mile per hour wind gust when the measurement is taken. But overall, by the afternoon, we can get some of those back up above 10 degrees for a little while. Look at where current temperatures are. How about this big cold blob down to the south? Really sticks out, doesn't it? Well, that's also where the thickest snow cover is. So that has the impact. And that's why it could have been so much colder if we got some thicker snow in our area, but the very north edge of it hang out right near the Kansas and Nebraska border. We do have a little snow trying to show up on satellite in the radar right now. Most of it's going to stay to the north, but this little batch of light snow showers, flurries, trying to hang on as it drops to the southeast. We'll see what it can do. A little heavier pocket there, maybe Sioux City extended down into Thurston County, and then back here south of Norfolk towards Humphrey, Columbus, Madison, with a little bit of that holding on as of right now. And you can see what models are doing with that, little hints of it anyway. And a lot of this really is not going to amount to anything more than just enough snow to maybe put a dusting on the roads and startle us a little bit. By 9 o'clock, we're near 12 degrees. By noon, we're up near 20. But again, you can see quite a few clouds, just enough of a breeze to be annoying by the afternoon. I think 22 with clouds. Yeah, by the numbers, it's going to be a little bit better than yesterday, but with those clouds, it's not going to feel maybe quite as good as the sunshine did yesterday. Plus, there's a little bit more wind by the afternoon. Could have some gusts 15 to 20 miles per hour to round out the day. Hints of a few more flurries as we go through the day as well. So can't really rule that out at any one point from the thicker clouds. By 10 o'clock, we're starting to cool off a little bit, clear out, and we should settle down into the single digits for one more morning before things start to take a turn to the warmer side. There's Wednesday morning for you. Here's the next 3 days, 27 on Wednesday and 35 on Thursday. So that's at least a warming trend. It's about all you can ask for in January is a warming trend, right?
I know.
35 looks amazing.
It really does.
It's like a summer day, depending on
Why have things changed?
I know. Well, in the meantime, we've been having the cold, but we just have not been having the snow.
Quite a snow drought here. It's pretty incredible. Haven't even had an inch of snow total for the season. There is the potential for that Thursday late, and I will say, given some recent model runs here, maybe this is trending more towards a Thursday PM snow rather than overnight. So let me show you what I'm talking about. This is about 10 a.m. Thursday morning. This batch of snow trying to roll in, but notice it's kind of broken. Looks a lot like what we're dealing with right now. Some very, very light snow showers trying to hang on sometime late Thursday. Earlier, it looked like maybe it lingers for early Friday. It looks like it's zipping out of here pretty quickly. Then another chance Saturday night into Sunday. We'll watch to see if that can amount to anything. But as you can see, no monster snowstorms. You'd be lucky to get an inch, maybe even lucky to get a half an inch out of either one of these, the way things are setting up right now. So got the flurries today, some Thursday night into Friday snow, some Saturday night into Sunday snow, and temperatures that don't move a lot, 20s and 30s. So we're getting past this cold snap here, looking a little bit better temperature-wise, but the snow lovers, they're not getting what they want. I'll show you some numbers we put together yesterday here in just a little bit.
Okay.
We're near record territory for snow drought.
Wow. But you know we're going to pay for this later. We always do.
I know.
We always make up for it.
So much
We
winter
have
left.
so much time.
For sure.
Don't worry yet.
All right, more kiddos heading back to school. How are the roads looking?
Yeah, well, hey, if you're a snow lover, you could just head down to Fall City, right?
Oh, okay. Well,
True.
we can do that.
And if you're making that road trip, that's where you are finding more of your rough road conditions. If you're driving near the metro, you are a parent taking the kids to school this morning, you don't have to be concerned about the road conditions. You've got pretty normal things in place right now. But if you are heading to Kansas City, say, you've got some patchy coverage that's in place as you get toward about Rockport, and then it gets closer to Kansas City, you do have some complete coverage, so keep that in mind. Also, Rusty was mentioning that little batch of snow showers. Notice how we're starting to get just a little bit of some patchy coverage that's showing up off to the west of Norfolk. Don't really expect too much of that to make it much further than that, as those are starting to fall apart, but that's something worth keeping an eye on. There you can see those in place. A lot of green on the map as we're making our way out and about. There's some of the snow showers that Rusty was talking about. That's near Madison you're looking at, but in the metro, things look pretty good as we start off our morning. Any slowdowns that we're seeing are at some of our busiest intersections. So you're seeing 90th and Dodge, a little slow right in that area. We had one at 84th and Dodge. That looks better at this point. And when we zoom things out, keep an eye on this area of JFK as you're making your way toward I-80. Keep in mind, you've got a lot of schools back in session today that weren't, even if they weren't in session yesterday, they're going back today. Everybody kind of back into the normal flow of things. So I do expect we'll start getting some more yellows, maybe a few areas with oranges, just as a matter of how many people are going to be on the roads as we go through the next hour or 2 hours. But so far, it's looking pretty good as we get things going.
7:08. Okay, we don't want to jinx it, but yeah, a promising start so far.
Yeah, hopefully in about 10 minutes or so when we check back in, we don't say, well, there it went.
There it went.
I have faith. All right. Well, to the news now. 3 Washington County deputies are on paid administrative leave after a shootout during a traffic stop in Arlington. A witness who saw the stop says a woman got out of the driver's side of the car, but a man on the passenger side seemed to be uncooperative. A standoff ensued. Video appears to show the man fire a few shots and try to run. Well, deputies fired back, hitting him.
I was honestly scared. I mean, just a little bit. We were standing right at our main door. It was less than 30 feet from us, and it was a clear glass door. He kept kind of looking at us.
The sheriff's office says the man had a felony warrant out of Douglas County. He was taken to the hospital. Deputies arrested the woman driving the car, and a baby was also found unharmed in the car.
A mother is in custody in connection to the death of her child. Yolanda Barfield is accused of child neglect leading to the death and intentional child abuse. The incident happened last month at a home in the area of 33rd and Reddick. Now, police say 6-year-old Alani Barfield was shot and killed. Court documents suggest that Yolanda failed to keep her kids away from a loaded gun. In the meantime, the Omaha Housing Authority is facing another lawsuit. The issue here potentially impacting thousands of people in the metro.
That plus more weather and traffic from Rusty and Jarrett when we return on First Alert 6 streaming.
All right, taking a live look outside on this Tuesday morning. The time now 7:11. Nice shot overlooking the downtown Omaha skyline, and we're dealing with kind of the same pattern that we were yesterday. It is cold, but not as cold as yesterday.
That's the thing.
So we'll take it.
Any warm up is a win. You still need all the winter gear heading out, but at least it's not as bad as it was yesterday. Let's talk about where we're going here today, tomorrow. Of course, the weather headlines. Few flurries today amongst the cold and chilly weather. Slow improvement through the week. I think we can get back into the 30s by the end of the week. You got some snow chance Thursday night into Friday, Saturday night into Sunday to watch for. We talked about those a little earlier. Current temperatures, look at the wide range. You got teens for most of the area. You get closer to that snow cover, just like having an ice cube in your drink, keeps it colder. 4 below is what the air temperature is in Falls City right now. Feels like number of 15 below, and that's just with the lightest of winds. So most of our wind chills are in the single digits. Occasionally when the wind reads calm, that's when the air temperature and the wind chill are the same. So we'll be single digits most of the day, because as we do try to warm up, the wind will pick up a little bit more this afternoon. You'll probably notice that north wind sting a little bit more this afternoon. So by the numbers, it will technically be warmer today, but with clouds and a little more of a wind, not going to feel all that great. Now, let's focus on this little batch of snow that's trying to move in from the northwest here. You can see there are some snow showers, some flurries. They're really struggling to drop southeast. A lot of this will probably end up drying up as it moves a little closer, but a couple of batches we have to watch here, and that's the struggle with some of these flurries or spotty showers. You got this little batch here, and then you got another one back here to the north that'll try to drop through, where that could try to put a little bit on the roads. You look to the northwest, this is up near Madison. You can see some snow that's floating around, and the roads look okay for right now. Not much left falling as of right now, and that's pretty much what it's going to be, just a dusting at worst from these flurries, right around 10 degrees to start. We made it to 20 yesterday. By the numbers, I think we can get to about 22 today. But with more clouds and more wind, it's not going to feel wonderful out there. Here's how it looks for a couple of snow chances that we have. You'll notice here by late in the day, or I should say early in the day on Thursday, clouds will start to increase, and there could be a little bit of snow that drops in from the northwest here as we march through Thursday. So this is looking like it could pose a little bit more of a risk for maybe Thursday evening if it's going to hold on. It might be tough to get a half an inch out of this one, but that's the next opportunity to watch for, trending more towards possibly a Thursday evening snow rather than a Friday morning with that round, all things considered. So you get a lot of 30s. Once we get to Thursday, 35 on Saturday as well. So some slightly better numbers trying to show up there as we make our way towards the end of the week.
Yeah, you just showed us the 2 chances of snow, but really we were talking about how we are in a snow drought around here. How bad is it?
These numbers, I tell you what, we have officially not had an inch of snow yet in the metro. And we got this chance. There's another one lurking out there for Sunday. That too doesn't look all that much, and you can run computer models out through that stretch, and most of them really don't do all that much through Sunday. Again, you would be lucky to probably get an inch out of one of those snows, and right now here's where the way the numbers look if you want to bring those full screen. Officially through yesterday, 3rd on the list for the lowest snow total to date. With less than an inch of accumulation. Only 2 years have we had less through January 6th. So we'll see what we can do. This is kind of one of those things you watch each day to see if where you jump around on the list. And yeah, not a lot to help us move down that list, it looks like, here in the short term.
We don't want to be first.
I know. Around this time last year, we were preparing for that big snowstorm. I remember it was the middle of January. Yeah. So
we had about 3 weeks in January last year where we had winter. Then
brutal.
The rest of it was fine.
That negative 40 feels like
I'll
never forget that.
That was bad.
Okay. In the meantime, we're hoping we didn't jinx anything, as we said earlier, because we have a slowdown now.
Yeah, maybe this is just like the first little thing of what's coming for the rest of the commute. We'll see. But as we go toward Blair High, look at how the oranges are popping now right near 680, especially as you make your way eastbound. And this is kind of what I was saying, is we're going to be looking at this being a more normal commute. A lot of people who weren't on the roads over the last several days are going to be on the roads this morning. You're getting back to where we had been for much of the fall and into the winter before we got to the holidays. So watch for some delays as you head through that stretch. Some other spots that I'm watching where we have things a little slow now. Westbound on Dodge. I think every time I've checked 90th and Dodge, it's been a different direction that's been a little slow. So just a sign of how busy things are in that area. We get toward 90th and Maple. You've also got some delays that are showing up in that area. So it's one of those kind of mornings. Now, surprisingly so far, the JFK has had no problems up to this point. So we'll keep an eye on that. We did have a brief slowdown on L approaching the JFK as you're heading westbound. That has now gone away. And when we zoom things out, you can see a little slow there on Northwest Radial as you're making your way toward that stretch around Hamilton or so. But for the most part, we're not doing too bad. I did just notice this one, though. Let's zoom in on this if we can, right there. On 370, you got quite the delay that is in place. Let's get a little bit tighter on that one right there. So that is as you're getting toward about 36th or so. So not entirely sure what's going on there. That's brand new, but that's a spot that has just lit up here. So hopefully we aren't now starting to see some of those problems start up. But watch that area of 370.
Okay, Jared, thanks for keeping us up to date. Thanks. Well, the driver in a deadly crash on I-80 now sentenced to decades behind bars.
Mason King faces at least 35 years in prison. Police say his blood alcohol level at the time of the crash was nearly double the legal limit. He was going the wrong way when he ran into another car. Ross Lewis and Kyle Arnold were killed in the crash. Lewis's girlfriend survived but had to spend months in the hospital recovering.
I feel iffy because I'm glad that he got the max for his charges, but at the same time, I feel like his charges should have been harsher. They should have been more along the lines of murder because he planned his entire night out. He planned to drive home drunk. So initially, he planned to kill people, and that's murder.
I will tell anyone who will listen not to drink and drive. You kill people as a result. Families are broken. They're shattered. And I want everybody to know that.
The girlfriend says she needs a cane now to walk, and on bad days, she can only get around by wheelchair. The Omaha Housing Authority faces another lawsuit. The issue this time, bed bugs.
Yeah, the suit accuses OHA of failing to clean up an infestation of 11 OHA towers. Now that filing alleges that more than 2,000 tenants may have been affected. Former Nebraska State Senator Justin Wayne is one of the attorneys in that lawsuit. He says complaints about the bed bugs in the towers are nothing new.
Community members have been trying, they have complaining at least for the last 5 years, if not the last 7 years, and there hasn't been any movement. And now that we have some national experts who are helping build this around how we can solve this problem, we feel right now it's time to go ahead and file the lawsuit and force OHA to the table.
Well, a suit filed last summer alleges that OHA did not inform tenants they could waive the minimum monthly rent of $50 if they were experiencing financial hardship.
A first alert this morning to a major road closure approaching. Next Monday, part of 72nd Street will shut down in both directions. The stretch is between Interstate 80 and F Street. It's expected to stay closed for 6 months. The closure due to construction of the new southbound and northbound bridges in the area. You will still be able to access 72nd between F and L Streets. Well, what do you like to do on a snow day?
All right, we'll find out how a couple of cute animals at the National Zoo spent their snow day. That's when we come back. It was a winter wonderland in D.C.
Yeah, a pair of giant pandas were caught playing in the fresh snow at the Smithsonian's National Zoo. So Bao and Ching Bao, you see there, rolled and played in about 5 inches of the snow that covered their outdoor habitat. Look at that, look, a flip. The pandas arrived in Washington back in October, and they're going to make their official public debut at the Smithsonian later this month. But man, look at that. I mean, that's what you call frolicking in the snow, right?
Because we don't always know, I mean, for sure about animals' behaviors, but you don't have to be an expert to know that they are loving that snow.
They are loving it.
We'll peel the curtain back a little bit. We always talk about what story are we going to be talking about during a stream. It didn't take a lot of discussion, did it? To figure out what today's was going to be.
So happy.
Everyone loves a good panda play.
A panda play.
It sounds like Anchorman.
Yeah, a little bit.
No, we really do love the pandas.
That was the same storm system, though, that dropped all the snow in Kansas City, went all the way east and gave it to D.C., too.
Well, we know
and they love it.
We know, yeah, they are enjoying it. All right, everybody, thank you for joining us. Remember, you can watch us here as we do our update in the Today Show, or you can watch us on the air. You have a few options.
Yes, you do. All right, have a great start to your Tuesday.
Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
Good Tuesday morning, everybody. It is 7:26. I'm Cerise Cole.
I'm Red Hartley. Let's get a check on traffic this morning as many people go back to work and to school today with Jarrett Lansford.
And you've got some problems on 370, right around 36th. Unclear exactly what the source of this big slowdown that you're seeing is, but especially as you're heading eastbound, look at how slow that is. This is an area where you're going to be likely seeing big delays as you head toward that. Also getting some word there may be a possible water main break on 108th, roughly around Q or a little bit south of there. Watch for that. If that is the case, you'd have slick spots in place. You've got slowdowns on Blair High right around 680 at this time too. So we're picking things up. Going to be a fair bit of slowdowns as we start off our day. Rusty.
And on top of that, the clouds have thickened up. We may have some flurries to watch for here over the course of the next couple of hours. This little batch trying to hang on from the northwest. We take you a little closer. There's a couple spots where it's a little bit heavier from Thurston County on north, and then this little pocket here that just developed between Norfolk and Humphrey. So that is by far the worst of it. We'll see what can hang on as these march southeast, but this is kind of our snow chances for about the next week. Just very spotty hit and miss stuff that looks like that. gives a little bit to some places and nothing to others. 11 feels like 11 at the moment. Look at Falls City. You got all that snow on the ground from the weekend. 4 below feels like 15 below with the light breeze. The bad news is the wind is actually going to pick up through the day, so that'll gust up near 20 miles per hour to end the day. Therefore, a high of 22, technically warmer, but might not feel like that later on today. Aaron?
Well, 3 Washington County deputies are on administrative leave after a shootout during a traffic stop in Arlington, Nebraska. The sheriff's office says a man had a felony warrant out of Douglas County. He was taken to the hospital. Deputies arrested the woman driving that car.
It is 7:28, and we are back with another update for you in 25 minutes. We'll see you then.